Scott Adams, the creator of the iconic comic strip, Dilbert, has died at the age of 68. For decades, Adams was known as the voice of office workers everywhere, the person who somehow managed to turn cubicles, pointless meetings, and bad bosses into sharp, relatable humor. But his life and legacy were far more complicated than a single comic strip. Born in 1957 in upstate New York, Scott Adams didn't begin his career as a cartoonist. He studied economics and business, then went on to work as an engineer in the corporate world. That experience would later become the foundation for Dilbert. While working at Pacific Bell in the late 1980s, Adams started sketching cartoons about office life, exaggerating the frustrations, absurd rules, and clueless management that many employees knew all too well. In 1989, Dilbert was officially syndicated, and it quickly took off. The strip's main character, a quiet, socially awkward engineer with a tie that always seemed to defy gravity, became a symbol of corporate burnout. The pointy-head boss became one of the most recognizable depictions of incompetent management in pop culture. At its peak, Dilbert appeared in thousands of newspapers around the world. Adams published best-selling books, including The Dilbert Principle, which argued that companies tend to promote their least competent employees into management. There was merchandise, calendars, and even a short-lived animated TV series. For a time, Scott Adams was one of the most influential cartoonists of his generation. But as the years went on, Adams' public image began to shift. In the early 2020s, he became increasingly outspoken online, sharing controversial opinions on politics and social issues, too. In 2023, comments he made during a live stream were widely condemned as racist. The backlash was swift. Many newspapers dropped Dilbert entirely, ending decades-long relationships with the comic strip. Adams defended himself, saying his words were taken out of context. He continued publishing independently online. While he retained a loyal following, his standing in mainstream media was permanently damaged. The cartoonist who once united office workers through humor had become a deeply polarizing figure. In 2025, Adams revealed that he was battling metastatic prostate cancer. He spoke openly about his diagnosis and declining health on his podcast, telling listeners that his time was limited. Despite the illness, he continued to share his thoughts publicly, reflecting on his life and career. Scott Adams died on January 13, 2026. His ex-wife announced his death and read a farewell letter Adams had written himself, in which he described his life as amazing. His legacy is complex. For many, Scott Adams will always be the man who perfectly captured the quiet misery and dark humor of office life. For others, his later years overshadowed his creative achievements. What's undeniable is that Dilbert left a lasting mark on workplace culture and satire. Scott Adams made millions laugh, sparked debate, and forced people to look at corporate life with a more critical eye. Strip. Long after the final strip, his work and the controversies surrounding him will continue to be discussed. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments.